Live now.
Okay, good morning everyone. Good morning respected teachers, guests, proud parents, and also beloved students. Welcome to Cikal Bincang Bincang, one of the activities in our Playground of Cikal Learning event. Thank you for coming today. Firstly, let me introduce myself. I'm Ajeng and I will be the moderator for this session. Before we begin the students' activity, let me give you a picture of what to expect for the next hour. In this session, we have Talita Iza Senen, or Iza, and Raisa Adelia Putri Chandrawulan, or Raisa from Year 11 Cikal Setu, and Mahira Alula, or Ula, from Year 10 Cikal Setu, that will lead you in their activity, where they will have a discussion with the title of Cikal Model United Nations Talk. And during this session, it is encouraged that the audience participates in the activity. You can write your question in the chat feature of Zoom or YouTube. And now let's give a virtual round of applause and warm welcome to our students, Iza, Raisa, and Ula.
Thank you, Ms. Ajeng. So, hi, me, Iza, and Ula and Raisa today will be presenting about Tikal Model United Nations, just to inquire your curiosities. Before we delete this any further, maybe we can get to know each other along the slides as well. Next slide, please.
All right.
So this is basically what we're going to be discussing about throughout this entire session. First, of course, you need to get to know us. Second, the nooks and crooks of MUN. Third is the committee gossip, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people would like to know. And fourth is our next step or our future plans. So who are we? Maybe we can start with the next slide.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Mayura Ula. You can call me Ula. My role in MUN is public relations from 2020 until 2021. My responsibility is contacting participants, updating information and confirmation, and I'm also the social media admins for Cikal MUN's Instagram. And my current occupation, besides the academics, is also in student council academics from team until 2020 and 2021.
Hi everyone, my name is Raisa Adelia Putri Chandrawulan. Call me Raisa for short. My role in the MUN is part of the marketing team from 2020 and 2021. My main responsibility in CMUN is mainly event promotions, handling socials, and audience engagement. So that includes getting us more exposure to delegates or future partners. My current occupation related to marketing is social media manager for Project What If. It's a mental health-based organization.
And hi, everyone. Feel free to call me Iza. My role in the MUN was as Secretary General for 2020 to 2021. And the responsibilities of the Secretary General was to lead the MUN, to oversee the decisions of all the divisions. And the current occupation I hold as of now is Head of Academics in Stuco batch 2020 to 2021.
Okay, now you may be wondering what will you get from this Cikal MUN talk. So what do you expect to get out from this Cikal MUN talk? Anyone wants to share? Maybe?
You can do this by commenting in the YouTube live or so that we can, read it out loud.
Maybe share a sentence or a word that might relate to answering this question as well.
Oh, silly us. Okay. You can actually engage with us right now by joining the Pear Deck link. So go to joinpd.com beforehand and enter the code that you see on the top right of the screen, which is HSGIIC. And by that way, you can interact with us and directly communicate with us or respond to us. Maybe you can go to the next slide, Ula, so that they can, you can share the responses. Okay, we see that there's been one response. Thank you, by the way. Oh. All right.
Okay, let's see more responses.
All right, maybe everyone here is still a bit too shy or your internet's not working well. We understand that. We can just move on to the next slide just so that we don't waste time.
So now that, we've gotten to know, a little bit about like, what do you think of MUN? We want to ask you all how you're feeling today. So in the peer deck, if you've joined, there's a circle you can like drag to the emotion you're feeling today. So everyone do that.
And again, to enter the code, it's on the top right, HSGIIC. Okay, let's see the responses. Okay, so
there's okay.
So someone hasn't been very happy today. It's fine. Yeah. We started the day.
It's all right. It's all right. It's only noon.
Should we move to the next slide?
Yes.
That'd be great.
So for anyone who isn't feeling well, like the participant earlier, or you're in a down mood or whatnot, I hope we can cheer you up with this fluffy seal. Thank you. Next.
So, what is
So, to clear
all right, now we're going to skip ahead to what pops up into your mind when we say MUN. Is any of you familiar with MUN before, or maybe a word and category that relates to MUN? Maybe debate, or anyone know what MUN is actually short for? So you may write down in our peer deck. Maybe share us a word relating to MUN or a sentence that you might know or familiar of. Let's see the responses. Conference, right? Debate, also correct.
SDGs. Okay, someone is quite familiar then with MUN.
All right. Are there more? Global? I don't really know. It's okay. Diplomacy.
Let me see. Good word. Delegates. Okay. Very nice choices and very interesting choices. I mean, I think you guys probably have lots of prior knowledge about MUN, and great answers, by the way, everyone.
Okay. Yeah, I see that
So,
majority of it understands some of the relations.
try everything. Go ahead with the next slide.
So here is what Model United Nations is, which is also a term for MUN. It is an academic simulation event where people will role play as members of the UN with the aims to teach diplomacy, debate, and communication. So in a way, by joining this competition, you will play a role and you will have to represent that role into the chosen topic and council that you join. And maybe you guys are wondering, what are the advantages of joining MUN? So here are top 5 reasons to join MUNs. First, it looks great on your college CV. If any of you are taking the major law or communication, something that is relating on debating and the choosing of diplomacy, I think it's a really great portfolio for your college CV as well. And second is meet some new friends, because MUN for the Chikal, we also held an internal and external. In that way, you can try to socialize, meet some new friends, and maybe find a connection and relations to the people that you didn't expect to be friends with. And then third, topics are varied and it could be personalized on your interests. So in MUN, we have councils, which consists of topics. And maybe if you find any interesting topics and councils that is actually based on your general interest or personal knowledge as well, I think it's really beneficial to take an advantage and join the council. Maybe you can gain some new knowledge. And then fourth, building confidence and speech skills, because public speaking skills is really required on MUN. In a way, you can engage that skill or try to challenge yourself. And the last one is insightful learning experience. Maybe if you guys are trying to find a new interesting hobby or an activity you can try to put on your challenge and take a step forward, I think MUN is really such a fun and a nice activity to take your time in this competition.
Now that you know a little bit about MUN itself, we would like to talk about Chikal MUN. So far we've had 2 MUNs, one being internal and external. The first one being Chikal Internal MUN that we held in October 2020. We held it in Discord, and we had the councils UNODC, UNESCO, and UN Women. We had over 43 delegates, but we only allowed Chikal students. And how did it go? It went great. There was like a lot of technical issues, difficulties contacting people, which is totally normal. But it was a really, really memorable event for both the committee and also the delegates. And then we also have the Chikal External MUN. So we were open to not only Chikal students, but we were open to international delegates and other schools. We held it in January 2021 in Zoom because we realized that the Discord servers for Indonesia are bad. So we had to move, and we had the councils UNEP, FCC, and EU commissioners, but this particular council was eliminated because we didn't have enough delegates who joined that council. We had 23 delegates, including the external participants, and it went really well. Although we had to eliminate one council, but we did invite external chairs. Like we had chairs from international chairs and international delegates as well, and the councils were really entertaining and fun. Other than the MUN itself, we also provided other services. We noticed that a lot of our delegates are beginners, and we wanted to provide like a platform for them to enhance their skills before the D-Day, because a lot of them were asking for guidance and whatnot. So we had one called MUN 101. So basically the session involved a guest speaker that helped in leading a lot of the introduction to MUN skills, such as debating and writing practice. So we had a lot of nice debating and writing practice with a few alumni as well. And yeah, it was really fun for the delegates so that they could prepare too.
Another one of the programs that we had was called MUN Clinic. And in this MUN Clinic, it was only available for the external MUN. So around January 2020, 2021. And in this MUN Clinic, it was a scheduled session where chairs were given the opportunity to give feedback to the delegates on how they can improve their performances based on the performances during the day. So usually MUN Clinic would happen after the conference, and these delegates would have to schedule like a meeting time, and it was very helpful for some of the delegates because they got to address their concerns and also get personal feedback based on how they were doing during that day, or how they can improve on the next day, especially from the advice of quote unquote professional.
So this is just like a picture or screenshot of the MUN when we held. We held it with Kak Tere and Kak Zaskia, which were alumni. Kak Zaskia is an alumni, and we had a lot of basics to MUN, and we held also debating practice, or I believe there was a speech practice and also a writing practice, so the delegates could feel prepared before the actual MUN.
Okay, now we have a fun activity that we prepare. So this is like a speech skills exercise, and we at least need 2 volunteers. We give an emotion. This house believes that physical school meetings are more effective than online school meetings. And we also provide the structure, which is the PEEL structure. First, you state your point, and then identify your evidence, explain your evidence in relation to your point, and then restate your claim. So does anybody want to volunteer during this exercise?
All right. I think all right, for the speech skills exercise, seeing that we're only providing the YouTube platform as our only platform for now, it would be best if you did this at your own time. So take a screenshot, feel free to send us in through, let's say, our later social media accounts regarding how you did for your speech skills. We would be very happy we would really appreciate if any of you guys did share with us, how you felt when you were doing the speech skills exercise. Next. Yeah. So, committee gossip. So what was happening behind the curtains in building the MUN? Well, what I can tell you is in the backstage, there's a lot of things that you need to prepare beforehand, before we actually do the MUN. Lots of things and lots of stress for most of the committee involved. But I'm pretty sure that most of the committee now can testify that although it was stressful, it was still fun. Next slide, please.
Now, here is the timeline of our Chikal MUN. We started the very first MUN 101 on 10 October 2020. And moving on to the Chikal Internal MUN of 2020, which was held in 23 until 24 October. And then another MUN 101 on 2021, 9 until 16 January. And lastly, the Chikal External MUN, which is held on 20 until 22 January 2021.
Now, this is just like a really, really brief and condensed version of what the making process actually is. But to break it down, first, we made the proposals, to send it to the schools and asking for permission and availability. And then we start recruiting the committee. We focused more on like tight-knit people that we knew and, that had experience in this division. And then we started also recruiting chairs. This is mainly for secretary generals. And then we also created councils and study guides alongside chairs. So chairs could pick their own councils and topics. And then we started drafting and sending out our sponsorship proposals and any of the media partnerships with other MUNs. And finally, we opened delegate registrations for you all to join our MUN. Next, please.
Just to justify exactly what everyone does or what exactly is the construct of the committee, here you go. This is basically the 6 divisions that we had during the making of the MUN. So first we have the Secretary General's position, which they're responsible to make the executive decisions. So every kind of decision needs to be going through Secretary General first, because between like the school and then all the divisions. So they're sort of the leaders in here. And then next you have public relations. They're responsible in handling external affairs, such as in media partnerships that we have with other schools or with other MUN organizations during the time. And then we had marketing, who was responsible in the promotion of the event, also responsible in the social media department, especially check out our Instagram at ChikalMUN, shameless self-promo. And we also had treasury, but treasury was being formally recognized in the external MUN, since in the internal one, it was kind of everyone's job to also check the finance, especially Secretary General. So they were responsible in financial management. And then we had our wonderful graphic designers. They were responsible in making the content that you see on our Instagram. And finally, but last but not least, we had our senior advisors, who was responsible for the supervision and for advice, because they have done the MUN before, since this is not the first time we've built the Chikal MUN. We've had one since 2019, 2018. Next, please. All right. So seeing that everyone can learn from others' mistakes, or we can also always learn from our own mistakes, here's a couple of tips that we have from our last two MUNs. First, be sure to make a schedule for everyone so that everyone can follow along and set their own goals and adhere that schedule to their own personal schedule. Second is to balance everything out, manage your time well, because it's very important that you're giving yourself enough time to rest, but you're also giving yourself enough time to do your work, especially, school life sometimes can get the better of you. So be sure that although, you're working your hardest on MUN, you don't astray from other stuff from your personal life. Third, understand and list down the needs or essentials in building the MUN. This was one thing that we sort of sometimes forget. There's a couple of things that you need in MUNs, right? For example, you need like the gifts, you need the award certificates, you need to prepare the proposals, you need to prepare the media partnerships and everything like that. So firstly, it would be better if you list down all of that first and then put them into your schedule so that you can be pre-prepared before actually preparing. And fourth is, this is just a little tip, but try to have everything ready or drafted a month before so that you can check what you haven't done yet, or you can always revise. So there will be enough time for you and your committee to, not stress out that much. Next.
Now, seeing that you've already discovered a couple of things, the behind the scenes, if you will, of the committee and our stress, we'd like to ask you all, where would you be sort of interested to participate in our MUN? If you would like to be external committee, like, chairs or moderator, or just as a delegate, or maybe you'd like to join our internal committee in the divisions like finance, marketing, design, public relations, or secretary general, because we are getting older and we might not be leaders of the organization anymore. So maybe you guys would like to take over. Should there be an open recruitment? We're still discussing that, but let's say the next time we have an MUN, perhaps we're opening for new members. Yes, you can drag that button to wherever you feel, you want to join the MUN or MUN. I see Secretary General. Okay, leader. Delegate. Okay. I see finance. Wow. Okay. There's one in the middle. Maybe they want to be internal, but also external committee as well. So let's see their choice later on. So yeah, thank you guys. We will definitely, info you or update you if there's, any change in, who's working in our MUN. So yeah.
Right.
So now that you've known the bits and grits behind the scenes, sort of almost off the stage, then what are we planning on doing on next? Next slide, please. For the future, what we have in store is that we're planning on making the MUN organization more formal, especially in Chikal. And we're going to be doing this by giving the MUN organization that we know so far to be handled by the academics division from Stuco. And will we have another MUN next year? Well, you can't bet on it yet, but just you wait and see. Hopefully we will. Really, really hoping that we will. When will the MUN happen? Hopefully it's going to be annually occurring. So this is not like a one-time thing. Every year we would have one. But of course, that's still in plans right now. Next slide, please. Our goal so far is to make the Chikal MUN organization an official organization. For now, CMUN is still a project-based organization. So we're hoping that we can change from project-based to be a cooperative very soon. And next is we can also have CMUN annually, still hoping that that's going to be done. And it's still under discussions and there's still a lot of documents to be made. So again, still under discussion. And most importantly is to create a legacy. We hope that within the next years, more Chikal students will be more interactive with our MUN community and will be more interactive with MUN in general. And, you know, will be recognized as a formal organization, as an official organization. Next, please.
And that is it from us. So we have a Q&A session. Maybe you can write down on the chat.
You can also write it down in the YouTube live and we can check it from there. So any questions you have, feel free to drop it.
All right, for the audience, please kindly write your chat to the speaker as well. While waiting for the question from the audience for Raisa, Iza, and Ula, I have some questions here. Any question?
Feel free to ask us about anything. For example, if you wanted to ask us about quote unquote first times about our MUN, or if you wanted to ask, oh, how do you get the courage? Or if you want to ask us about, I'm just pitching in ideas for you guys to ask. Or if you guys want to ask about debating or writing or anything that you feel needs to be asked, please do, you know, comment on the YouTube live or comment through Peer Deck on that question, and we'll be happy to answer it for you.
Okay, Iza, can I ask you?
Oh, sure.
For three of you, actually.
Yeah.
How do you guys first know MUN?
Okay, who wants to start? Ula, do you want to start first, maybe, and then we can like go from me to that.
Sure. So I wasn't really familiar with MUN until I tried to join a lot of debate competitions. Let's say I joined WSC, and by that I think I also got recommended to, oh, why don't you try MUN? And also I think the school's starting to get more supportive, and there's a lot of invitations from other schools and events as well during MUN. So the first MUN I joined was also actually recommended and volunteered by Chikal as well.
Okay, so from debate, yeah, at first for Ula. What about Iza?
For me, I have a similar background story to Ula's, but basically to just sum it all up, Chikal was also having its very first MUN, and you know, the committee was very persistent in getting their delegates. And I found MUN to be interesting because they presented about MUN to our class. So when we finally got to see the presentation and they said like, oh, you can debate and you can write and everything. I thought, that's a couple of things that I like. I like to talk, obviously. So I thought it would be interesting if I joined MUN. And from then on, I just, I continued to join MUN ever since Chikal's first MUN. So yeah, because of Chikal's MUN organization, actually.
All right. What about Raisa?
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I've never actually joined an MUN, but hold on. I can't debate, but I cry when I debate, and I'm so scared of that happening when I join an MUN. I can't. I cry. So I've never joined one. But when Isa asked me to join as a committee, I had a lot to learn. Like I had to learn the basics and sort of like everything that works in MUN. So I have a little bit of experience, just not attending one. I'm so scared of attending one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plot twist, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So if you would like to join our committee, you can, even if you don't have experience like me.
Okay. Oh, we have question in the live chat in YouTube. It's from IA. The question is, what was the biggest challenge you faced when organizing this MUN? Also, what are each of your favorite councils CMUN has had?
Oh, darn. Okay. Second question is quite hard. What was the biggest challenge? I think the biggest challenge was we had pretty good or solid communication. It's just sometimes getting middle ground with everyone is kind of hard. For example, we had a few issues with our external committee, which is, let's say, from the media partnership, some things that we can't control, So the challenge was really in trying to get communicating with everyone else aside from our committee, that including also sometimes Suko, sometimes even sometimes our own groups or divisions. So the challenge is communication and also making sure that everyone understands everything they're doing. I think that was the biggest challenge for me, especially as a SecGen. What about from Ula or from Raisa? What was your biggest challenge?
Do you want to go first, Raisa?
Okay, sure. My biggest challenge, I think, yes, communication. There were a few things. There were difficulties contacting a few people. Looking at a few of you, but mostly it's in communication and also time management, because we're also doing this while we're doing school. So it was a bit overwhelming, okay, school. And then, and of course, we're for me and Isa, we're and a lot of the committee, we're in DP. So boom with DP, and also Jimun. So it was a bit hard to handle that. Ila, you can go.
I think that for the part of registration, and also I think everything relates to communication as well. And I think contacting external committee, because at this point, yeah, as what Isa said, we can't control them, or let's say having to be updated with every single file or responses that came out from, let's say, the forums or the sheets. I think it took a lot of time to catch up. And then there was a question also, favorite council, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a feeling you're gonna say FCC though, because FCC is such a chaotic council, but it was a very fun council.
I do agree.
I think for me personally, I saw most delegates also enjoying FCC, and when most of the gossip and the drama was in FCC, and when there's gossip or drama, it's gonna be good. So I think so far my favorite one is still FCC. How about you, Raisa?
Sorry.
What's your favorite council from the MUN so far, from internal or external?
Sorry, my computer lagged a bit. Sorry. My favorite was FCC. I didn't actually watch over them, but they were really fun. They were so fun, It was so fun. It was so fun. Like if we do have another FCC council, I think it's gonna be more fun. So I loved it so much. So rowdy, so so good.
Yeah. Everyone is so active and it was really entertaining
Yeah,
to watch.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's one more question.
Yeah. All right. Yes. The next question is from Kiran Mikhail Sidik. And the question is the debate going to be the American debate or the debate that we oftenly use, like will we use crossfires or anything?
Crossfires. Okay. Interesting term. I think whenever we talk about debating, there's no right or wrong way about it. Usually it's just how you choose to present it. Like, your debate won't always be good just because it's complex, nor will it always be bad just because it's simple. I think it comes down to you, especially since MUN is very discussion based. It's not like sort of like a formal debate. It's kind of like, imagine like being in a circle conference table and you're going into a conference and you're talking to a bunch of people about the same issue. So it's not structured formal debate all the time. You can still let loose in sometimes. So yeah, I think it's, if you already know how to debate in the basic one, as you say it, that's already very much enough for MUN, especially for you to start MUN journey. How about you, Ula? Do you have any comment about that, or Raisa?
Yeah, I think so, because not only that we're here to debate and go against with other countries or delegates as well, but it's all about negotiating and communication. So in a way, if you can't try to form a nice specification on debating, I think that discussing or negotiating is also an important part. So maybe you should try to find more casualties on how you're trying to communicate, and it's also like delivering what you're trying to say in the councils.
If I'm not mistaken, we have one more question on the.
Yep. I think that's for Raisa, yeah.
I
Which
think so
might
too.
That
Yes.
Raisa?
Hold on. It
Sorry,
says,
you kind
what
of
makes you cry when you debate? For Raisa.
A lot
Is it
of things.
because of
I
the
can't
topic?
argue. A lot of things make me cry when I debate because it's like the tension. Like you're just like kind of like not like a screaming match, but you're just kind of like when the delegate has a really good point and you don't. Like, what do you do? Like, I start crying. Like I can't. Like, and then also like, I guess first the tension that. Second, you feel under pressure to answer. So you cry. I cry. That's the way I release my emotions. So yeah, that makes me cry.
The vibe, yeah, in that
Yeah,
what is
it's really
that?
intense.
Yeah. Okay. I think one more question to close this session. How will you use what you have learned in the future? As we know, you are now a senior high student, and you will soon go to college, right? How will you use that skills, that knowledge in the future?
Isa, do you want to go first? Yeah, who wants to go first?
Okay, I'll go first. Skills. I think so far from first seeing the organization grow and then leading it with my fellow partners in crime, as you can see here, and a couple who are not mentioned. But shout out if you are watching the YouTube live right now. Yeah. I think communication skills are very important, and along the way, especially in college, you're gonna need communication skills, be it for networking or be it for talking about your concerns to, I don't know, your docent But I think communication skills and leadership skills, as well as cooperation skills, are going to be the top three things I take away from this experience, because this experience have not only forced me to interact with human beings for the longest time since COVID, but it has also, made me appreciate more on what we can do as a team and what we can achieve together. That sounds so cheesy, but it's okay.
I
Okay,
see.
that's cool.
I
What
could also
about
relate.
Ula? Okay.
I could also relate to that because actually I wanted to take law for my college later, and I think that by also doing this portfolio, it'd be such a wonderful CV, and also what Isa
Yeah.
has mentioned, leadership would be useful.
I think for me, it's really similar to Isa, that you can take in a lot of communication, leadership, organization skills, cooperation, and also time management. It's really important too. And also because, I'm choosing to major something in communications or sociology, you need a lot of that. So I can take away a lot of what I've learned in this organization to college later for what I'll be learning and what I'll be experiencing later on. So yeah.
I love how I'm the only one who's taking a science major. But either
I
way,
love it.
science or social science, you're still gonna need communication regardless. You're still gonna need leadership, hopefully, when
Yeah.
you're doing projects and everything.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I think our time is up in this session. This is a discussion. Ula, Iza, and Raisa, thank you so much. But yeah, I think I will close this session, our session now. Let's give virtual round of applause for our talents. Yay! Iza, Raisa, and Ula, thank you so much. It's great to see the wonderful talents of our students and what they have learned through the virtual classroom, and then through their experience and our project. And I hope for the audience, I hope that you enjoyed today's session.